Hello, my dears. My name is Joanna, and I welcome you to Johanna Taconis, the Deconstruction of C-PTSD podcast. In this episode, we will talk about a topic that came up during my time at Live from America podcast last weekend, which turned from therapeutic abuse to a conversation about C-PTSD, which did surprise me. Links are in the description. We talked very briefly about what the therapy for PTSD should look like, and I feel like I didn't do it proper justice and wanted to explain it better, because I do think it is very important to clear things up. So let us talk about it. We had a nice chat last Sunday, and I really liked the interactivity and the questions I got. But I also felt like I didn't have enough time or space to explain what I meant properly. The conversation was just too fast-paced for that. But it was still very interesting. I hope I at least opened the conversation somewhat to talk about it more. I talked about non-helpful therapies, and when I was asked if there weren't several therapy methods suited for different people, I confirmed that. But also realized afterwards I probably didn't do a good job in explaining what I meant with they have to follow the same structure, and that I never really disclosed what a good therapy should look like or how it should feel like. It is hard enough to get therapy, but also there are many therapies, and sadly not all of them are useful. Everyone has their own method that works best for them, so variety is good and needed, as long as they also take you forward and aren't a waste of time. We first talk about what it should feel like, which type of therapy, then goals of therapy, and finally what the base structure looks like. What should it feel like? I think the most important thing is that you should feel better over a long period of time, like a few weeks. You should feel more independent and more capable and more emotionally stable, as a rule of thumb, of course. See also last episode for a full list. The second most important thing is the aha moment. Like the pieces are falling finally together. And suddenly things are starting to make sense when you start seeing the light. You can also call it a light bulb moment. Things should also change, as should the issues that plague you. If you feel like you keep going in circles or being stuck in the same issue, then something is clearly going wrong. I recommend a diary or a calendar or the like to keep a realistic track on your progress. The goal of a therapy should be that you get there with an issue and leave with a solution or plan in mind. On average. Now, as mentioned before, there are many types of therapy. We will ignore the fraudulent ones, as they are never truly intended to work. But besides that, it doesn't matter if you talk, draw, dance, music, exercise or whatever. Any can be helpful. Doesn't mean it will. Sometimes it is even wise to do multiple therapies at once to be able to get a grip on the situation. Therapies serve different needs. Some stabilize, some cure, some are just to keep you on track, and so on. When you are stuck, the pieces stop falling together, and there is no progress. That is when you need new tools that the therapy should provide you with. The end goal of the therapy or therapies should be that you can remove PTSD from your life. Not just the symptoms, the whole thing. Not getting numb to it, not appeasing it. No, it needs to be removed. In the end. The therapy should also not to try to change the facts, be it a death or a terrible thing that happened, or so on. But just how you deal with it and your feelings regarding it. So you can live a life worth living for again, and not just survive. So it doesn't matter if you go straight for the trauma or first stabilize yourself. The end goal is the same. The second option just has a few more steps along the way. Then what is the most basic base structure of the whole thing? It's the same structure for trauma or trigger, or actually almost anything. Step 1. Stabilizing. Heal yourself so you can halfway stand again. Your options are limited if you're not even standing. Step 2. Stockpile. Gather energy and resources and heal yourself to the extent that you can go into the offensive, meaning tackling the issues. Step 3. Go for the core. Follow the trail and hints you have, most of the time from the brain, until you find the core or reason of it all and resolve it. Step 4. Go for the supporters. The core is usually never alone, hence the core. So now go after all the things that followed the core or are connected to it. Be throughout or a new core regrows. Step 5. Rinse and repeat until all is done. Once again, I want to repeat. Doing it the first time is the hardest part of it all. Once you realize you can do it, it changes everything. But the first one is so hard and usually takes a lot of time. That was it for today's episode. I hope you found it helpful. Hope you are safe and well. And as always, if you have any questions or feedback and the like, please let me know at contactme@johannataconis.com. More information and transcript you can find as usually under johannataconis.com/podcast/. Information regarding therapy you can find under johannataconis.com/therapy/, and links are in the description. I hope to see you next time. Watch yourself and have a wonderful time.